Hey guys, time for a little Road to the Horse update. So spent the last 3 or 4 days watching the Road to the Horse and helping a few guys out there at with some behind the scenes stuff. So really good time. I really enjoy watching Road to the Horse and watching the competitors. And yeah, good time. So was really impressed with the wild cards. I was really happy that they picked some people that actually start colts for a living and less of the clinician, maybe less of the well-known guys, and more of the guys that just do it for a living. And so there was Joe. He's interned for Nick Dowers for a while and really good guy. Starts a ton of colts. Did a really nice job with his. There was Dustin. He's a Canadian guy. Again, a rancher, cowboy. Starts a lot of colts for his ranch and some other ranches, and did a great job with his. Learned a couple of really cool little tricks that I'm going to start implementing with mine. So that was really cool to see him. And then there was Buster McClary. Buster is an icon in the colt starting world. Has started thousands of colts. Also does some a lot of clinics and stuff. So not a super well-known guy, but yeah, definitely a guy that really teaches people and helps them. So and then there was a guy from Argentina, and I'm going to butcher his name, so I'll just call him Chris. It's Christopher. Anyway, he's from Argentina. Came over and started a colt. Yeah, it was really pretty good. His the Argentinian style didn't work quite as well. He, I think, spends a little bit more time getting him gentle and quiet. And in this shortened time span, his program wasn't quite as efficient. But the other guys did a really good job. It was very tight at the end. The scores were really close. Buster did come out on top. We may talk about the scoring a little bit later. Right now, the scoring is cumulative, and so you take your previous scores into the final round, and it depends on how they're weighted. I think that the final round should be weighted heavier than the other rounds by a significant margin, and we'll talk about that at the end. Buster was leading in the second round, and then in round 3, his horse wasn't the best. In fact, he placed third in the final round, but because his score was, he had led enough in the second round that he ended up the winner. I was happy that Buster got it, just because he's a really good clinician and teacher, and I was just happy to see him do it. I was a little disappointed that the other guys didn't get in, because I thought they also would have done a great job. So yeah. And then we go to the final round, or the championship round, and we have Vicky Wilson, which has been there before. Tick Maynard, which won it last year, and then there was Buster. So Buster had to go right from his pen there, and then go right in there. And then there was Phil Haugen, and Phil, he had a tough go there. His horse was a little bit pushy, and he just didn't have the tools to get around that horse very well. The horse was just a little, him and that horse didn't click. So ended up doing pretty good at the end, but just struggled through the rounds, and so didn't get as good a score as some of the others. So yeah, the last day, horse didn't do too bad, but he was just lacking in scores from the previous round. So yeah, really hurt him there. Then let's go up from there. Then there was Vicky was in third, ended up third, and yeah, did a pretty nice job. She gets her horses pretty quiet. She does a lot with them as far as getting them quiet and used to some obstacles, and that's a big part of Road with Horse because you have to go through the obstacles. And what really hurt her was her second round. She rode her horse a lot, and it kind of ran out of gas, and she kept kind of wanting to get a little bit more forward in it, and it started getting kind of pissy and bucking and stuff like that. And so the judges really knocked her for too much work on that horse. The horse was, at the end, that horse was spent. It was wet and sweaty and tired, and as soon as she took the saddle off, it just went and rolled 3 or 4 times. It was very done for the day. So the next day, when she went to get on it, it was still a little crabby, still not in a good mental spot, and so she struggled with the rail work and with the obstacles. But yeah, did a good job in the time that she had. And then let's go up to Buster. Buster was second. Buster did a really good job, really quiet. You didn't see very much dust in his round pen. And all of them kind of, when they saddled him up, all of them I think bucked once or twice just to kind of get used to the saddle, and then they were pretty good after that. Buster's horse didn't buck. Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it cropped once when he first put the saddle on it and sent it around, but after that it was good. His rail work was really nice. I really liked his rail work. The obstacles, Buster didn't do a lot with obstacles, and that's not something that I think is his forte. He's not super comfortable. It's not a common part of his program. So his horse wasn't quite as good with the obstacles. The tarp was a little bit of a challenge to him. The noodles were a challenge to him. And they give you some obstacles that you can use in your round pen, and how you use those really makes a big difference. And it's tough. It's like, it's doing colt starting competitions where you're going to have to do an obstacle course at the end of the time really can really make a big difference how you use those in the round pen. So anyway, he struggled a little bit, but yeah, overall was really pretty good. His horse was a little bit, he worked more on getting that horse to go with him and smooth out on his aids, on his legs, on his hands, rode in the snaffle bed and did a really nice job with it. It was really good. I believe he was the only one that rode in the snaffle bed, and this horse was really guiding pretty good. So yeah, and then Tick was the winner. Did a good job, like really did a good job with the obstacles. Kind of just, oh, hold on, let me get this real quick. I did a good job with everything, just overall. I think his rail work wasn't quite as good as Buster's, but I don't know the weights on the scoring, so how much they weight each part. But yeah, I thought overall it was pretty good. Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, like I said, they all did a good job. I thought all of them worked really well with their horses. But yeah, I would agree. I think Tick probably did the best job. If I was a judge, I would have given it to him. And like I say, a lot of it depends on the scoring system. Like how much do you weight the rail work versus the obstacles? Yeah, and part of it also is showmanship, right? And I can tell you, Tick has shown a lot, and so he knows how to take a horse and get it to knows when to push and when to back off and get the most out of his horse, so he can show it to the best that horse's potential. And I don't know that Buster has shown. I know he has shown some, but I don't know how comfortable he is taking the horse to kind of the edge of its potential, especially in that shorter time period. So those experiences definitely affect your outcome. Anyway, that's my take on the Road to the Horse. It was really good seeing everybody. I got to see a bunch of the past competitors and hang out with them kind of behind the scenes. And that was really fun to do it. So, yeah. Anyway, comments on what you think and maybe what you'd like to see different. Anyway, catch you guys later.